Alright, what's going on, boys? Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to properly do a full upper body workout. Here's how it's going to look. Each muscle group, we're going to be doing for 3 sets each. So 3 sets for back, chest, shoulders, biceps, triceps, and we're going to be hitting some abs as well. And within those 3 sets, we want to make sure we're hitting every part of the muscle. So when it comes to something like back, for example, since we're only doing 3 sets, we want to try to fit in different types of angles within those 3 sets in order to work the muscle in its entirety. Everything's gonna make sense as the video goes on, but anyways guys, let's get into the workout. Alright boys, so to start off the workout here, we did ab crunches with the rope. I like to do these every other day, either at the beginning or the end of my workout. You guys want to make sure you have some sort of weighted movement in your routine for your abs, because your abs should be treated like any other muscle on your body, right? You want to stimulate them with some decently heavy weight in order to push them to grow. Don't get confused by the idea that your abs are built in the kitchen, because that's not true. Your abs are built in the gym and revealed in the kitchen. So you want to make sure you have some sort of weighted movement into your routine, and I would recommend doing it every other day at the beginning or the end of your workout. Alright, so moving on to chest here, I wanted to have one sort of isolation movement and one sort of pressing movement within the 3 sets that I did. So what I ended up doing was 1 set of cable flies from above, 1 set from the middle, and 1 set from below, and you'll see that in a second here. But after each set of cable flies, I supersetted it with half rep push-ups. When you're doing these chest flies on a cable machine, the bottom of the movement is going to be where you feel the biggest stretch in your chest. So you want to start there at the bottom with that stretch, and then you want to come in with a big wide hug, and then end the movement with your hands about a fist apart. This way you're not caving in your chest at the end, and you're keeping that constant tension the whole time. Now, these half rep push-ups have been insane with how much they have grown my chest ever since I started doing them. And I've tried literally every single chest exercise you can think of. Everything from bench press to dumbbell press, flies, dips, you name it, I've done it. And nothing has grown my chest even close to these half rep push-ups. The whole idea behind them is you're keeping tension on your chest constantly by staying in that bottom stretched portion of the exercise. These have given me that 3D rounded look in my chest that I've always tried to get. And I always thought I was someone who had like a genetically bad chest. But after doing these, I'm finally seeing the progress and the shape that I want in my chest. Next up, I move the cable down to the middle like I was saying. And for these, the same thing. Big wide hug, feel the stretch at the bottom of the movement, and then come in out wide. You don't want to be pressing or anything like that when you come up. You want to keep your arms sort of in a static position. Just use your chest for the entire movement. No triceps, no shoulders. You want to make sure those stay out of it as much as possible. You guys want to make sure also that you're fighting for those last reps at the bottom. I always speak about how important the stretched portion of the exercises. I talk about this again and again and again. Those half reps are the most valuable part of the exercise in my opinion, because your body already has enough muscle to do these full reps. Yes, those are valuable, but when you're doing those half reps at the end and you're struggling to get those last reps, that's when you're sending the right signals to your body that you need more muscle in order to move this weight, in order to move more reps. Right? And your body will provide you with what you demand and what you signal to it. So have this constant communication with your body at all times, and really try to leave everything on the table at the end of your set. This takes like an extra 5 seconds at the end of your set just to pump out those extra little quarter reps or half reps. And like I said, those are the most valuable ones in the entire movement. Next up, moving on to biceps here. So we ended up doing a preacher curl machine. And I really love preacher curls. I think these are one of the best bicep building exercises, and I wanted to make sure that I hit both the width and the thickness of my bicep within this one exercise and within the 3 sets. So what I did was 1 set with my palms facing the roof, and then 1 set with my palms facing each other. Anytime your palms are facing the roof, you're going to be working the height or the peak of your bicep, and anytime your palms are facing each other, you're going to be working the thickness of your bicep. So yeah, I did 1 set with my palms facing the roof, 1 set with my palms facing each other, and then for the last set I did half and half. I believe I got about 5 reps with my palms up, and then I finished off with the hammer variation. So for back, I did 3 different exercises for 1 set each. The reason for that is you want to hit your back from 3 different angles. You want to do 1 exercise from the ground, 1 exercise from in front of you, and 1 exercise from above you. So right here, we're doing our exercise from the ground. As you can see, we're doing barbell rows. This is an amazing exercise to put thickness on your back. If you prefer to do it with dumbbells, that's totally fine too. But yeah, make sure you have some sort of exercise from the ground anytime you're doing your back. Next up, moving on to the exercise from above, I decided to go for pull-ups. So you could do like lat pull down instead if you don't like to do pull-ups. I ended up doing close grip pull-ups here, and then I took like a couple second break and finished off with a couple wide grip half reps. A good thing to keep in mind anytime you're doing back is that if you're using a closer grip, you're going to be working more so the thickness of your back. And when you're using a wider grip, you're going to be working more so the width of your back. That's why it's good to switch your grips around. Sometimes do a wide grip, sometimes do a close grip, and play around with it, 1 arm, 2 arm, this and that. It's always good to have different angles, different grips, different variations of every exercise that you're doing. Next up, moving on to seated cable rows. A good tip that I want to give you guys when you're doing these is you kind of want to imagine somebody standing behind you with a string wrapped around your elbows, and then that person is pulling your elbows back with the string. That's going to help you get a better contraction in your back, but not only that, it's going to help you build a mind-muscle connection as well. That's something that's a little bit harder to achieve with your back. A lot of people have a hard time sort of getting their arms out of the way when it comes to working your back. So imagining strings around your elbows and somebody pulling those strings down is a good way to isolate your back in pretty much any back movement. Next up, for shoulders. So for shoulders, within these 3 sets, I wanted to make sure that I hit my side delt, my rear delt, and my front delt. It's important anytime you hit your shoulders that you do all 3 of these areas, because you want to go for that 3D delt look, right? And in order to do that, you have to take care of your front, your side, and your rear delt. So to start off here, we hit some side laterals, and you'll see a couple times during this set, I kind of rest the weight down for a second, catch my breath, and then I go back into the set. A lot of the times people will give up at the point where I first stop, but if you just take a second and breathe, let your muscle recover just a tiny bit and then tackle it again, you'll be surprised by how many more reps you can get out of the movement. Sometimes I could even double it up or triple it up by the end of my set, and that's extremely valuable, and that compounds and compounds and compounds. That's going to go a really, really long way for you. Next up, we did rear delt flies. So with these, you want to try to have your chest facing the ground as much as possible. This way you're isolating your rear delts as much as you can, and you're getting the best contraction possible at the top of the movement. Next up, for front delts, we did underhand front raises with dumbbells. I prefer to do these underhand because I find I get the best contraction and best isolation in my front delt. I believe I finished off the set with some hammer grip raises because my shoulders were too tired to do any more underhand. When it comes to front delts, if you're doing a lot of pressing, like let's say you're doing a push day and you're doing like bench press or dumbbell press or push-ups, for the most part, your front delt will be taken care of. So if you're already doing a pressing movement during the session, you won't have to worry too much about doing an isolation movement for your front delts. Next up, last but not least, we're hitting the triceps. So to start off, I did cable press down with my palms facing the ground and my elbows by my side. Anytime your elbows are by your side, you're going to be working the lateral head of the tricep, and that's the part on the side of your arm. As you'll see next, I flip my hands over and I do a underhand tricep press down. The underhand tricep press down is still going to be, for the most part, your lateral head, but it's also going to involve something called the medial head. The medial head is something that gets worked in accessory with the majority of your pressing movements and your tricep movements, so I don't worry about focusing on it too much. It's such a tiny muscle. It's located right above your elbow. And it's not something that I ever hard focus on because it's so small and it's so hard to notice that it's not worth investing too much time and energy into. Next up, to hit the long head of the tricep, we did an overhead tricep extension. So the long head is the long part of your tricep on the back of your arm. Anytime your arms are behind your head, that's when you're going to be working the long head of the tricep. So for example, skull crushers, or these overhead tricep extensions with the cable, or overhead dumbbell extensions, for example, those are all going to work the long head of the tricep. This is a very, very, very big part of your tricep, and it's something that you definitely want to focus on. Keep in mind, guys, your triceps are 2/3 of your upper arm. You don't want to neglect them, especially these big heads on the side of your arm and on the back of your arm. These are what's really going to fill up your sleeves and give you that really, really big arm look. So make sure you're having these different variations within your tricep routine. Like I said, one exercise with your elbows by your side and one exercise with your arms behind your head. Anyways, guys, that wraps up the workout and the video for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this and learned something. If you did, feel free to leave a like and stick around. I'd really appreciate it. I have a lot more tips and tricks to share with you guys when it comes to building muscle. Things that I've learned over the years, shortcuts and whatnot, you name it. But anyways, guys, I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.